Miami Cavs on the home of the Rangers with Shan and RJ. Is that the most embarrassing moment or play of the Rangers season so far with Rocker yesterday?
Yeah, without on the spot, without being able to think of another one, that's pretty bad. I mean, that's a mental brain fart of brain farts. And it's not even like to cover the bag or being slow to get over there is that's one thing. I mean, that happens. That's one thing. You cannot just stare out into space and let another runner continue to go like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm trying to think. I don't think I'd put it number one yet. I think I'd probably put it 25th behind the 24 times that they've brought Luke Jackson into the game. But other than that, this was number one.
Let us know on the fan text if there's another embarrassing moment that could top that for a team that's only 4.5 out of first place still in the American League West. 877-881-1053.
But that the margins are small, right? When you get to the end of the season, you're going to have half a dozen teams between like 82 and 90 wins. Those two runs, in a game that you lose by one, those are big. They wind up being big. Yeah,
the small lowercase W yesterday was the Rangers actually coming back when we all texted each other and said, game over, night-night, see you later.
It felt like a game where they were going to score nothing.
Well, let's play a fun game. Is Bassick ready to snap? Now, why would Mike Bassick get ready to unleash on television the way he did on radio for so many years? Well, I'll take you to Texas Rangers PR, who the other day sent out these glowing statistics. But all they did was make me angrier and more frustrated. The Rangers starting rotation has an MLB best 2.80 ERA this season. The rotation led the American League in ERA in both March and April and May, making the first time in franchise history for the team to pace the American League in starting pitcher ERA in each of the first 2 months of a season.
Wow.
Starters have also logged consecutive months with a sub-3 ERA in the same season for the first time since 1978. Texas starting pitchers have allowed 3 or fewer runs in a franchise record 22. Again, this was sent out the other day, June 3rd, so 2 days ago. Rangers starting pitchers have allowed 3 or less runs in a franchise record 22 consecutive games, marking the longest streak in baseball since the Braves did it in 2024. Rangers starting pitchers have an MLB high 39 starts of 5+ innings, 5 or more innings, and 2 or fewer runs, making the most such starts within a team's first 60 games of a year in the last 7 seasons. The last team with more in that span was the 2018 Astros, and then entering play the other day, there were 11 pitchers in baseball with at least 12 starts and an ERA of 2.50 or lower. The Rangers have 3 of them, and no other team has more than 1. And then final compliment, or the final, nail to get under your skin. The last team to have as many as 3 pitchers with 12 or more games started and an ERA of 2.50 or lower through the team's first 60 games was the 2016 Cubs with Arrieta, Lester, and Jason Hamill.
Do you believe that was a World Series winning Cubs team too?
Yeah,
2016. Those are good stats, but also very depressing that you are in this position to be 4.5 back by having pitching that is just not really seen all that much anymore.
Yeah. Paul Skeens, Pirate fans are feeling this frustration. Skeens has allowed 19 earned runs in 13 starts this year. The Pirates have lost 8 of those games.
Yeah, it's King Felixy from when he won the Cy Young Award. It's a very the Pirates are going to wind up trading him. They are. They're going to
this year.
Not this year, but they're going to trade him before he gets to free agency, and it's going to be a joke. The whole franchise is a joke.
Did you see the Skeens Pedro number going around yesterday? So Paul Skeens is the first pitcher since Pedro Martinez in 2000 to lose 2 starts in a season where he had 8 innings pitched, 1 or fewer runs, 1 or fewer walks, and 8+ strikeouts.
Oh,
it's Pedro and Paul Skeens, and that's it.
And all this leads to a game of, is Bassick going to go ballistic right here on 105 through the Fan.
Look, if you listen to Mike Bassick on these airwaves for long enough, you probably got pretty good at telling when he was starting to bubble up with rage and he was about to snap, or when he was just concealing his anger and taking his ball and going home. You could hear it. I don't know if you only watch him on TV, if you're as familiar.
Machete his feet off.
If you're as familiar with it. So we're going to give you some insight. We're going to tell you if Mike is actually getting mad or if he's just doing normal broadcasting stuff. We got 3 clips that we grabbed last night. And the first one comes right after the Kumar Rocker mental error. Now, is this Mike just explaining the situation?
Yeah, this is the Mike Bassick translator. Like a lot of people in town try to be the Jerry translator.
Right.
We're doing it for Michael.
Yeah, so is this Mike Bassick just broadcasting, or is this Mike Bassick about to snap?
Rocker causes both of these. He doesn't cover first, and then he forgets there's another runner on base. He's late to reaction. You got to get there quicker. The Rangers have been great on this. Rocker's late and then forgets there's a baseball game. And another run scores.
That's
I'll go first. This is easy. He's disgusted. He is disgusted with Rocker because of both of those moments.
he's a pitcher. This is what they work on in spring training. He's going to take the pitching aspect of it more, the little things, pitcher field, the PFP, right? He's going to take that a little bit more sensitive, right? He's going to be a little more sensitive about that, take it more seriously. He's ready to snap.
I was ready, like I was legitimate. I was listening to him explain it, and I was like, he's got to be angry about this. And then when I hear him say, forgets there's a baseball game going on, I was like, clapping. I was like, he's going to snap. We're about to have Mike lose his mind. This is great. I'm so excited. But, all right, yeah, I think we all agree. That was, you're right. I think disgusted. And also, I think it was just as he kept talking about it more, he was getting more angry and was about to just lose his mind. Mike, right after that, Kumar Rocker gives up a stolen base. And Mike, is this him getting a little irritated with Kumar again?
Well, big slow leg lift. Rays love running, and it's a easy steal.
What was that car in the back? Was that the runner?
Was
that the engine getting revved up?
Stadium sound effect.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bobby. I knew it was. I didn't think the runner was revving up and dropping it into fourth.
It'd be funny if it was. Yeah, I don't think he's not ready to snap on that one. He's angry. It's a carryover. That wasn't as bad. The first one with it, he forgets how to play baseball or forgets there's a baseball game going on.
Yeah, this felt more like I don't think this one was as angry. It was just like, yep, this is what you get when they're bad. Like, just kind of just
abrupt.
Yeah, just, yep, man, that's a steal. And the Rays like to steal, and there it is. Big, slow leg kick. This is what you get. So this is the final clip we have here. Dave Raymond was talking about the variance between some of Kumar Rocker's off-speed stuff. That his fastball and his slider and some other things, there's not a whole lot of discrepancy here.
This was hilarious.
And Dave Raymond had to chuckle a little bit when he got some of the patented Mike Bassick sarcasm.
There's nothing off speed here tonight. And you're not going to get away with that against any team. No pitcher.
You can. They're called relievers.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to throw 98 and I'm going to throw 93. 2 pitches. Well, if that's what you do, then you get to face, 3 to 6 hitters a game. And then every third day you pitch pretty much.
Yep. There it
That's
is.
it.
That's lecture Mike.
Yes, that is lecture Mike.
That's lecture Mike talking to his son. Okay, you want to be a dumbass? Well then, because there was a tone in his voice right there where I heard it. He said, okay, you can do that per game, and then you'll be sitting your butt back down on the bench.
3 to 6 batters every couple days. Like
No
I
comprende.
I visualize Mike here in the room, and I see his face when he's saying this. And I'm like, oh, he's getting irritated. Let's maybe shift the topic because he's gonna start being petty and upset through this segment.
And his face,
Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you want to do that, and then he takes his earpiece out and starts eating popcorn.
Because the other side of Mike is when he doesn't care about a topic, he tries to sabotage it, and then he does the kind of the head shake laugh. And then this one is where he's really passionate about it, and he gets kind of short, petty, and sarcastic.
Mike also pulled a TO yesterday. Well, so the clip I thought you were going to play, the Emily Jones replacement, I don't remember her name right now, but she was talking about Rocker's other stuff. And it was some of curveball and slider, and, she was differentiating and how Kumar, he's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen until the day of the bullpen session. And it went back to Mike, and he was basically like, well, look, like he kind of shuts down the report, I felt like, and he's like, look, this is what it is. All right, he's not throwing any of the pitches. And here's the stats. I went and looked up the information. He hasn't thrown a curveball yet until it was like the third or fourth inning. But he pulled a TO yesterday. Someone refresh for the Tolos who don't know Mike's TO reference of what he said in here when he was working with us.
Did we ever say that?
I don't know if we said it on the air.
Yeah, we said it multiple times.
We would reference he's TO.
Yeah,
I don't think we said what he said.
Oh, yeah. Fine, I'll say it.
Okay, you say it.
He basically called himself TO, like he knows he's problematic and dramatic, but he's great.
But it's great. Yeah, that's what he said.
He said sometimes in order to get TO production, you got to deal with TO personality, baby.
Yep. And he said it dead serious. He said it dead serious. I know I'm great. I'm a brilliant baseball mind.
The one I couldn't find, I was going back and starting to go like, where did he say it? I couldn't remember. He was getting super frustrated. Do you remember when he started off one of the batters 0-2, and Mike was calling out the pitch sequence, and he kind of goes like, yep, that's good. All right, now he's going to look for the curveball because Rocker's about to throw the curveball in there. And it almost was just like Mike was starting to get like, yep, this is the same sequence. Here we go. Everybody knows what's coming.
Well, what I was going to finish up with his TO moment, he did a great job. I think it was, he's like, all right, now you go back high fastball here, right? You go, and it was a 98-mile-per-hour fastball, and I think he fanned Seager. But either way, Mike called it, and it worked. And he goes, and people ask me all the time, like, Mike, how do you know this? Like, Mike, how do you call these out? You know, he was trying to say the game is simple and we overthink it and overcomplicate it. But he was like, Mike, how are you such a genius? Mike, like, do you have a crystal ball up there? Like, how do you always know what the pitch sequence is going to be? And he had his TO moment there.
I do.
But let me say this. Let me say this in all seriousness. It's refreshing. And I had a lot of personal problems with Mike's professionalism towards the final days, and I couldn't stand doing radio with him, and I didn't want him in here, and I didn't want to do crosstalk with him because he was just trying to sabotage things because he was getting ready to just go do television. But what's my motto? What's my T-shirt?
Balanced AF?
Fair AF.
FAF. I can still separate it. It's refreshing, Mike's knowledge and the energy, and I hope the powers that be don't screw it up and try to rein him in with your typical boring-ass local team broadcast. I like that Mike is disgusted. I like that Mike probably shouldn't be on camera after the Rangers get shut out again because he's so furious. I like Mike's emotion and his sarcasm, and I hope the powers that be don't try to rein him in and give us the typical boring-ass crap that Bally did for years, whether it was in studio or on air with play-by-play.
He is. I said it earlier.
That's my compliment to Mike.
He's the best analyst this team's ever had. He's on a different level.
He's great.
And if he was doing Mets broadcasts with like Ron Darling is, he'd be on the TBS national broadcast and not Ron.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Ron's no good. Ron's great. It's just Mike is not on that broadcast because he's not in New York City. He is that good at this.
Well, and as somebody who is biased, because I love the Mike Bassick train wreck segment. I always loved it. It was a lot of fun. As somebody who loves that, I love both these versions of Mike on the air. I love Mike being the Romo predicting everything in the booth, and now I am getting so excited that we might get like Mike screaming at Broadus during a crosstalk on the air. I'm waiting for. I'm going to listen for it. I want to hear this. I want to hear a fist pound at somebody. That's my next thing I'm listening out for is Mike pounding his fist because he's so frustrated watching this offense.
Diamond Cavs here on the home of the Rangers here with Shan and RJ, 105.3 The Fan. We have a Rangers ticket giveaway coming up, but we talked about Ranger fan frustration, Pirate fan frustration, and that has Bobby. RJ Choppy came up with his Boston trade target, and Jarren
Duran.
Sorry, I was calling him Cover Boy. Calendar Boy.
Oh, yes. Well done.
Should we not elaborate on that?
Well, we can.
Explain that.
Well,
and then we'll toss it to Bobby.
So Jarren Duran got caught on a hot mic calling a fan a certain slur.
A Wake Forest slur.
Uh-oh.
Yes. The F word, the other one. And then the Red Sox had the brilliant idea to make him the June picture on their calendar.
What's in June, Peyton?
Well, let's see. My dad's birthday's July, so
That has nothing to do
no,
with
it's
June.
Pride Month.
Literally, yes.
I was trying to get away, but
And it's just like, what?
I mean,
Now, was that intentional?
It probably wasn't intentional. It probably wasn't intentional.
it is probably pretty representative of how people in Boston are talking this time of the month. So they were probably just like, "Oh yeah, let's throw Duran up there," because that seems very Boston energy to begin with.
So he was the calendar boy for the month there in Boston. All right, other fan frustration, and Jarren Duran was RJ's trade target. Bobby has his.
All right, so I know that the word out of Pittsburgh is that they are not going to trade Oneil Cruz, who has become the exit velocity god. Used to be Ellie De La Cruz, now it's Oneil Cruz. He is the one that is just mashing the baseball. He set the, a couple weeks ago, he set the StatCast record for the highest exit velocity in the StatCast era on I think it was just like a line drive to right or whatever, but he smokes the baseball. Now, one of his problems in recent years has been the fact that he's got a bad chase rate. He doesn't walk very much. It's kind of like the Adolis symptoms we've seen in the past, that he'll chase some stuff and he'll walk. I think his walk rate was like 7% heading into this year. Well, over at Fangraphs, they've done a breakdown of the subtle shifts that Oneil Cruz has gone through that now I look at and I go, okay, this is a guy that I think you can project out and say this is somebody that the Rangers should target. If they want to buy, if they want to say we're buying in on this pitching staff, this is somebody I'd be willing to sacrifice capital for. So they talk about how his numbers have jumped. He's doubled his walk rate, basically. His chase rate is way down. He was 27th percentile, I think, last year. He's like 62nd this year. So his approach has changed, and they were trying to figure it out over at Fangraphs. All right, what is the most significant thing we can see in his StatCast data that'll tell us something has shifted? It's this slight tweak. It's this very small tweak that he's made where he's changed his swing path subtly on the lower zone. And so the attack angle on breaking balls is up from 13 degrees to 16 degrees. Basically, it just means contact point has moved farther out front. But these subtle little changes that they've seen has led to him just absolutely destroying balls in the lower part of the zone, which is not something he had done previously. And you're seeing him not swing as frequently. He's not swinging as many pitches. He's taking a lot more. He's seeing the ball better. There's a metric that I think it's Fangraphs has that they call the Seager metric, where they say the best thing Corey Seager does is Corey Seager consistently identifies a pitch that's in his zone and he mashes the hell out of it. And that's something that you can really work with a hitter when you say, all right, as long as you know your pitch and you spot it and can hit it, that's perfect. You can deal with a lot of the swing and miss stuff as long as you get that, which is something we get with Seager a lot. And while Oneil Cruz can fix that rate overall for his career, they say this is an area where in that lower part of the zone, you're starting to see him really mature as a hitter, where he's noticing, all right, this is my pitch down here. I've changed my swing path. He's recognizing it, seeing the ball faster, and he is just beating the hell out of the ball in these lower pitches. And so Oneil Cruz is a guy who they're saying that when you look at him, the projectability, he's having a career year in some of the peripherals that you look at. His batting average is like 221, but career year in the OPS, he leads the NL in steals. He's hitting the ball at the highest rate. I think he's 99 percentile in exit velocity right now. So if you're going to tell me 26-year-old Oneil Cruz, if Pittsburgh's going to make him available, all right, now I can talk about buying if I'm the Rangers. And that's the guy that I think you call and say, all right, let's figure something out, because that guy can change your lineup.